Goodbye, Darwin. See you never. Hey guys, welcome to my NRL round number 7 tips. Now, a bit different here. Mum's got a new phone. I've got my tips to read off, but I haven't got time to get the team list up. So let's get into my tips. Last week I went 4 from 8, but I did pick some good try scorers. Obviously, Dylan Brown getting a try. There was another number 6 that crossed over, Kyle Flanagan for the Dragons. But speaking of the Dragons, they take on the Sea Eagles tomorrow night at Manly. Manly coming off back-to-back losses. Jason Saab named as an in for this game, which is a great inclusion for them. And then the Dragons are coming off a great win against the Gold Coast Titans. Both of these teams looking to get an important win in decent positions for both of them to start the season. So, yeah, it's a tough game. I like what I saw from the Dragons last week, and I think Clint Gutherson will be very involved against Manly, his old club, now that we can say it. But I think Manly will bounce back here. I'm going to go Manly by 16 points. I think it'll be high scoring. Manly 34, the Dragons 18. Manly need to get their attack back on track, in my opinion. I think they can do it in front of a home crowd. They were embarrassed against Melbourne just a few weeks ago. So I do think they leak some points from the Dragons. I think they can score some points to the Saints. But ultimately, I think Manly will win. And my first try scorer is going to be, 34-18 is my score. First try scorer is going to be Tommy Talau, and Val Holmes is going to get a try at any time. Next up, it is the Canterbury Bulldogs on Good Friday taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs. This is going to be a great game. Now, I'm actually away on a bit of a holiday at a farm this week, so yeah, really looking forward to being away, but we'll see how much football I get to watch, or if I'll be watching the highlights or some game next week. But massive crowd expected on Friday, and the Dogs haven't won on Good Friday in about 8 years, so it's been a long time coming. And now Rabbitohs get Cody Walker back, so it's Trell and Cody Walker in the half. I believe Alex Johnston was back last week, but I think Campbell Graham comes into the wing this week. So there's some good inclusions to both of these sides. South Sydney have started the year pretty strong. It was a loss last week, but it was a decent game against the Cowboys. Probably shouldn't have lost that one, but the Cowboys got them in the end. As for the Dogs, it wasn't the greatest performance against Newcastle Knights, but they kept the Knights to 0, and they've got the bye. They've prepared for this game. Now, the Rabbits plus 9.5, I'm hammering this line because South Sydney are going to keep this game close, and South Sydney absolutely can win this game. This game stinks of a Wayne Bennett ambush, but I'm going to tip the Bulldogs. I'm going to do it, and everyone's doing it, which I didn't expect, but I'm going to go the Bulldogs to win by 2. I think we're going to be treated to a fucking classic. Matt Burton's back, Kickow on the reserve. Love what I've seen of young Jack Todd. I'm going the Dogs 20, the Rabbitohs 18. It's going to be a great game of football. First try scorer, I'm going to go Matt Burton in his return game for the Dogs, and anytime try scorer in back-to-back game, Ewan Aitken for the Bunnies. Next up, it is the Melbourne Storm at Suncorp taking on the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins beat the Penrith Panthers last week, and they have plenty of time to prepare for this game turnaround-wise. They have about 8-9 days, so yeah, big game for them. The Melbourne Storm were very good in that first half against the Warriors, leaked some points in the second half, and there is a little bit of an injury cloud over Jerome Hughes, but I believe that he will play in this game. The Dolphins are getting things right. Hammer looks good. He's really starting to settle this season, just coming into that Origin form as well, which is very exciting. I don't give the Dolphins a chance here, but I think this game won't be. I know that Melbourne can score, 40 points quite regularly. I think the Dolphins can keep them to a lower score than that, in my opinion. I'll say Melbourne score under 34. I'm going to go with the Storm to win 28 points to 12 over the Dolphins. Storm by 16. First try scorer is going to be Harry Grant. I reckon he's going to have a big game at Suncorp Stadium. And my anytime try scorer, I'm going to go with Funufuaki from the Dolphins in the back row to bag himself a try. Next up, it is the Warriors at home taking on the Brisbane Broncos. Now, as for the Warriors, Charnze Nicoll-Klokstad out for this one. Tane Tuapiki comes in at fullback instead of on the wing. Not Ewan Aiken, Kurt Capewell. It's so hard without the team list in front of me. Kurt Capewell comes into the centres for this game. So the Warriors are missing some players for this one. As for the Bronco, I believe that Jordan Ricky is free to return after his suspension. Jack Jojeski is out for this one. However, the Broncos were awful against the Roosters last week. They need to be dominant in this game, and Payne Haas needs to lead the way, in my opinion. I expect the Broncos to play better football than last week, but I give the Warriors a bit of a chance at home. They play well when they are at home. For this game, I'm going to go with the Broncos by 6 points. The Broncos to win 22 points to 16. Look for a big bounce back from Ben Hunt after a poor performance last week at home. I'm going to go with first try scorer to be Jesse Arthurs for this game. And my anytime try scorer from the Wars, I'm going to go with Adam Pompey. This is a tough one to tip. It's the Sydney Roosters versus the Penrith Panthers. This game is being played at Allianz Stadium. These sides met in round 2 at CommBank, and the Roosters won an absolute thriller. Now the Panthers, they haven't won a game in Australia yet. It has been 6 weeks since the Panthers won a game of football. They go into this game as favourites. They've been favourites all year. I think maybe besides that game at Amy Park. I don't know who to pick here. This game is so tough to pick. Roosters are hot and cold. They had a really nice performance last week, and I like what I've seen, especially of their, Nafua White, Zach Docker-Clay, these unsung heroes stepping up big performances. Billy Smith as well, who will be out for this one, bringing Mark Nawita. Oh, it's a tough name. Mark Nawanga. I know people love watching me pronounce names. I can't do it, especially with the spelling not in front of me. I can't do it. I'm Blocker Roach. So I'm actually going to go the Roosters here. I think everyone's going to fall into a trap and think this is the game that Penrith win. I think the Roosters at home on a Saturday night against a Panthers side that even Ivan Cleary is just saying, we need to get the win, it's so important. They're just so rattled right now, and it's crazy to see. I can absolutely see Penrith coming out and winning 13 plus, making a statement saying we're back and going down to like $8, $7 odds for premiership. I'm going to say the Roosters win it. Roosters by 7. Hugo Savala to kick a field goal. Roosters 25, Panthers 18. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Casey McLean. I think the Panthers will score first in this game. And my anytime try scorer, I'm going to go with Daniel Tupou to score a try. But it's a tough one. I think Penrith lead early, but I think the Roosters get them in the end. Next up, it is the Gold Coast Titans at home hosting the Canberra Raiders, who scored 50 points in Darwin in hot conditions. They have beaten the hot conditions, something that they've struggled at in the last couple of years. Now the Titans welcome back Tino Fa'asuamaleaui, a massive inclusion for them, and the Raiders pretty much unchanged with Zach Hosking a chance of coming in. Now, Raiders are really impressing me. I really like what I'm seeing from this team. Ricky has these boys. Hudson Young's playing great footy. Sebastian Chris is playing good footy. Kyo Weeks has been pretty good at the back. Jamal Fogarty's got a great kicking game. There is a lot to like about the Raiders, and they are very quickly becoming a dark horse for a top 4 spot this season. As for this game, I'm going to go with the Raiders by 12. I thought about the Raiders 13 plus. I think it's a little bit of a trap, 13 plus. The Titans back at home, they should respond a little bit better, but I just can't see them matching the physicality of that Raiders pack, and the way that they're playing right now is very good football. Raiders 26, Gold Coast 14. First try scorer is going to be Matt Tomoko. He's going to score the first try of the game. I wrote down anytime try scorer Jamal Fogarty, but I know I like to pick one from the Titans, so I'm going to go with Tony Francis to bag himself an NRL try. Next up, it is the Newcastle Knights on Easter, taking on the Cronulla Sharks. Now, the Knights are just woeful right now. They're attacked the last month. They could be battling us for the wooden spoon. Could, I say, because we could turn it around. Who knows? But the Cronulla Sharks, they're not putting teams away. They don't seem like the flat track bullies that we've seen over the last couple of years. They seem worse than that. They don't seem to be getting better. It was a good win against the Manly Seagulls, don't get me wrong, but the game almost went to Golden Point and they leaked points late. They did it against the Rabbitohs. Will they do it here? Are the Knights good enough to match up with them? The answer to that is no. The Cronulla Sharks are going to win by 20 points. People are tipping Knights as an upset here. I just don't see it. Their attack is off at the moment. Teams have worked out Kalen Ponga's style as well. He's not playing his best footy because he's being shut down a lot when he does get the ball. Sharks 30, Newcastle 10. The woes continue for Newcastle. First try scorer, roughie of the year, Cameron McInnes. He's going to score in this game. I'm backing him first. My anytime try scorer. Do the Knights score? Yeah, through James Schiller. All right, here we go. Parramatta take on the West Tigers. This is a Tigers home game from CommBank Stadium, and there's going to be a section without seats. There's like poles that you lean against. Tigers, what are you doing? Now, as for the Tigers, I'm going to make a separate video on this, but obviously the way they've handled the Galvin situation, I'm just going to leave it. You can watch a separate video about this, but there's a lot of drama with that. Will the playing group come out fired up, or will it tear them apart right now that they have dropped Galvin and brought in Adam Dewey? Jarrell Skelton out for this one, so Luke Lalui comes into the wing. As for the Parramatta Eels, Sean Lane, rejoice. Sean Lane is out of this side after some lazy performances in recent years. I've loved Sean Lane over the year, but if I was Jason Riles and he was fully fit, I'd be taking Bryce Cartwright in a heartbeat over Sean Lane, so I didn't know why. I knew there was a bit of an injury to Bryce. Mitchell Moses back in jersey number 7, pushing Dean Hawkins to the reserve. So first time seeing Brown, Moses, Iongi, and Riley Smith. Obviously, he's been coming off the bench. I really want him to start for this game. I want it so bad. And the big surprise, Jack Williams returns early from his hand injury. So, yeah, a lot of ins for the Eels. And I'll tell you what, on Tuesday at 8 a.m, I had the West Tigers winning this game 24 points to 16. Tigers by 8. I thought Galvin would come out and make a statement to test the open market. And even with Moses back, I thought Parramatta couldn't do it. But I think they've wielded the axe here in a very good way, and the inclusion of Jack Williams, a fresher body, is really, really nice, as well as Matt Dury, who hasn't played in recent weeks. There's some good names here. I think they're fresh, ready to play football. It's a home game for Parramatta fans. Will be there in numbers in this game. I have about a 75% chance of being at this game. It's still not locked in yet, but I will most likely be at this game. And if I am, I'll absolutely be part of the Swarm March. Who do I think's going to win it? I love that Parramatta team list. Can we turn it around? We're down the bottom. I don't know if we can turn the season around, but I'm going to go the Eels here. I was going to tip the Tigers pretty confidently here. I'm going to go Parramatta by 10. We saw a great performance from Parramatta last year when Mitchell Moses came back after a long time out against the Sharks, who were in form. Now the Tigers are in form. A lot of drama with the Tigers right now. Tigers 16, Eels 26, Eels by 10. First try scorer is going to be Will Penasini for this one. And then as for the West Tigers, I'm going to go with Dream Buller to get a try. And I reckon Riley Smith is actually going to get his first try being part of that spine. He's going to be very excited. So those are my NRL tips for round number 7. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just want to wish you guys a happy Easter as well. Have a fantastic weekend with your family and friends. Should be some great football games to look forward to this weekend. So yeah, whether you're having prawns or eating chocolate, I hope everyone has a really good time, whether you're away or at home, or if you're even just out at the pub by yourself. Just enjoy it. Yeah, let me know your tips in the comments below. Back the try scorers. I've been killing it with try scorers. I will put up a separate post, all thanks to Tricolour Tribe. And yeah, keep a lookout for the Lockie Galvin video. Subscribe if you're new around here. I'll see you guys later.